ClickUp versus Monday.com. People book consultation calls with me just to answer this one question. Today, you are getting the same honest framework I use with paying clients, but only if you watch to the end, because the decision depends entirely on your context. I'm Hina. I'm in the business process and system space for over 15 years. I have tried and tested more than 20 project management tools. I'm a ClickUp verified consultant and a Monday.com expert. And this video is not sponsored. I'm a partner with both platforms, but my job here is to help you pick what's generally the best fit, even if that means recommending the one that earns me less. I have seen teams succeed brilliantly with both tools. I've also seen teams waste weeks setting up the wrong one and then blame the software when the real issue was just the fit. Here's how we'll do this. Before we even get into features, I'm going to give you 2 quick questions that will already point you in the right direction. Then we'll go side by side through ease of use, project structure, automations, reporting, stability, and pricing. Let's get into it. Before I compare a single feature, I want you to answer 2 questions. These will do half the work for you. Question 1, how do you naturally organize work? So when you think about how your brain works, do you prefer structured lists and defined stages where things move predictably from one step to the next? Or do you like to build your own system from scratch, customize everything, and shape the tool around how you think? Your answer already tells you a lot. Structure first thinkers tend to feel at home in Monday.com immediately. System builders tend to gravitate towards ClickUp and enjoy it once they have set it up their way. Question 2. What does your work actually look like? Is your work high volume and repeatable? Same stages, same outputs, different projects each time? Things like intake, produce, review, publish over and over? Or is every project different, requiring its own shape, its own workflow, its own custom setup each time? If your work is repeatable, Monday.com's structured boards will feel natural from day one. If every project is different and needs its own configuration, ClickUp's flexibility is worth the learning curve. Keep these 2 answers in mind. Everything I cover from here will make more sense with them. Here's how I explain this to every client in one sentence. ClickUp is a highly configurable operating system. Monday.com is a polished work management platform. They overlap a lot, tasks, boards, automations, dashboards, but they feel and scale very differently. And that difference matters enormously depending on your team. Ease of use and learning curve. Monday.com wins on speed to value. Most people can open it, understand it, and start logging work within minutes, even if they are not tech people. The interface is clean, consistent, and opinionated in a good way. For teams that just want something that works on day one without building anything, that's a genuine advantage. ClickUp is more like opening a cockpit. Powerful? Yes, but there's a real learning curve. Custom fields, hierarchies, spaces, folders, lists, tasks, multiple views, nested subtasks. It's a lot to take in at once. In my experience, most people take 1 to 2 months to feel genuinely confident using ClickUp's core features. Monday.com, you can get comfortable within a couple of weeks. But here's the honest truth. The learning curve question isn't just about tech comfort. It's about your user mix. Views and project structure. ClickUp is a clear winner on views. List, board, Gantt, mind map, calendar, workload. You can visualize your work in almost any way imaginable. And you can have different views for different people on the same project. One thing worth highlighting for power users, ClickUp was originally built by a software company for their own internal use, which is why sprint management, dependency tracking, and developer-style workflows are particularly strong in it. If your team runs agile or needs that kind of structure, ClickUp has a real edge here. Monday.com has boards, timelines, and dashboards. Fewer options, but polished and fast to set up. On Gantt specifically, if it's a day-to-day operational tool for your team and not just a nice-to-have, both platforms support it, but Monday.com's timeline view is simpler to operationalize across many work streams. ClickUp's Gantt is more powerful but requires more configuration to get right. Automations and integrations. ClickUp lets you build complex multi-step automations, triggers, conditions, actions, cross-list automations. Powerful, but it takes time to build and maintain well. Monday.com's automations are more plug and play. When status changes are done, notify the manager. Simple to set up, and your team will actually use them. Where you might hit limits is in very advanced conditional logic. Both tools integrate with major apps. Both have solid Microsoft 365 integration, Teams, Outlook, SharePoint. But if your organization has strict IT or security requirements, data residency, SSO, enterprise, audit trails, always check the specific tier, as these controls are often logged behind higher plans. Reporting and dashboards. Monday.com generally shines here. Its dashboards are polished, easy to build, and great for leadership visibility. Workload by team, projects by status, intake volume this week versus last month. Non-technical stakeholders can interpret them quickly and reliably. ClickUp dashboards are highly customizable. Widgets, custom data sources, filters, but they take longer to configure correctly. If you want something that looks good and works reliably out of the box for reporting, Monday.com is a safer bet. If you need portfolio level reporting, rolling up hundreds of projects across multiple sub-teams for senior management, both can do it, but you'll get faster there with Monday.com. Stability and scalability. Monday.com is more stable and consistent. Updates are less frequent. Things rarely break mid-project or your configuration stays predictable. ClickUp ships new features fast, which is exciting if you love being on the cutting edge, but it can also mean occasional bugs or interface changes that catch your team off guard. That's getting better as the tool matures, but it's worth knowing going in. If your team hates surprises, especially in a regulated or compliance-heavy environment, Monday.com is a safer operational choice. Pricing. I won't quote exact numbers, they change, but here's a consistent pattern. ClickUp generally gives you more features at low tiers. Power users love this. Monday.com often requires higher tiers to unlock advanced features like automations, dashboards, and guest access. But here's what people miss. The real cost is in the license fee. It's the time spent on setup and configuration, ongoing governance to keep it clean, adoption failure if people stop using it, and guest or external user costs if stakeholders need visibility. If you're budget conscious and have strong system ownership, ClickUp often looks better on paper. If you're paying for smooth rollout and consistent adoption across a mixed team, Monday.com can absolutely be worth the premium. So now that we have covered everything side by side, let me pull it all together into simple frameworks so you can make this decision with confidence. Here's how to decide. Be honest about your team, not just your ambitions. Choose ClickUp if you think like a system builder and want to shape the tool yourself, or get help from the consultant. You have a high proportion of power users or tech-comfortable people. Your projects vary and need flexible custom structures. You have strong ongoing system ownership to keep it governed and tidy. You're a small team, a startup, or building a bespoke internal operating system. You want maximum capability per pound or dollar spent. Choose Monday.com if you think in structured stages and want something ready to go. Your work is high volume and repeatable, same workflow, different projects. You need fast, consistent adoption across a mixed or reluctant user base. You want polished dashboards that non-technical stakeholders can use immediately. You have strict governance, security, or compliance requirements. You want stability, fewer surprises, reliable for leadership reporting. So there it is. No fluff, no bias. The honest answer is that both tools are good. The question is fit. Your team size, your user mix, your workflow type, and how much ongoing system ownership you have. If you're still not sure, drop your team size, your top 2 or 3 pain points with your current tool, and whether most of your users are power or light users in the comments. I'll reply with the specific recommendation for your situation. And if you want to go deeper, I have tutorials on building intake systems in both ClickUp and Monday.com on this channel. Links given below. See you in the next one. Thank you.